On April 1912, the world stood at the edge of a new era, an age of luxury, technology, and unstoppable human ambition. And floating proudly across the Atlantic Ocean was the greatest ship ever built, the Titanic. People called her unsinkable, a floating palace designed for the richest people on Earth. But just 4 days into her maiden voyage, the impossible happened. In the freezing darkness of the North Atlantic, Titanic struck an iceberg, and within hours, over 1,500 people were dead. More than a century later, the story of Titanic still haunts the world. How could the most advanced ship of its time disappear beneath the ocean? Tonight, we uncover the true story of the Titanic disaster. Before commencing, it'll be nice if you like and subscribe to this channel for more historical documentaries and true life stories. The Titanic was built in Belfast, Ireland by the massive shipbuilding company Harland and Wolff. Construction began in 1909. At over 882 feet long, Titanic was one of the largest moving objects ever created by humans. Inside the ship were grand staircases, luxurious dining halls, swimming pools, libraries, and even electric elevators. First-class passengers enjoyed unmatched luxury. But while the wealthy relaxed in elegance, thousands of third-class immigrants traveled below deck, hoping to start new lives in America. Titanic represented more than transportation. It symbolized human confidence and the belief that technology could conquer nature itself. But nature had other plans. On April 10, 1912, Titanic departed from Southampton, England. Thousands gathered to witness history. The ship made stops in France and Ireland before heading into the open Atlantic Ocean toward New York City. On board were some of the wealthiest people in the world, businessmen, celebrities, and aristocrats. But there were also ordinary families chasing dreams of a better future. For 4 days, the voyage went smoothly. Passengers enjoyed fine dining, live music, and breathtaking ocean views. But warnings had already begun arriving. Nearby ships reported dangerous iceberg fields directly ahead. Several messages reached Titanic's radio operators, but the massive ship continued traveling at high speed through the icy waters. No one believed disaster was waiting in the darkness. April 14, 1912, just before midnight, the North Atlantic was unusually calm. The sea was so still that spotting ice became extremely difficult. High above the deck, lookout Frederick Fleet scanned the darkness. Then suddenly, an iceberg appeared directly ahead. A crew member shouted, saying, "Iceberg right ahead!" The crew reacted immediately. The engines were reversed. The ship attempted to turn, but it was too late. At 11:40 p.m., Titanic struck the iceberg. The collision seemed minor at first. Many passengers barely noticed anything. But beneath the surface, the iceberg had ripped open multiple compartments along the ship's side. Water rushed in rapidly. Titanic's designer, Thomas Andrews, quickly realized the horrifying truth. The ship would sink, and there were nowhere near enough lifeboats for everyone on board. As panic spread across the ship, lifeboats were prepared. Women and children were ordered to board first, but many passengers still refused to believe Titanic could actually sink. Some lifeboats left half empty. Meanwhile, musicians continued playing music to calm the terrified crowds. Deep below deck, third-class passengers struggled to escape the lower sections of the ship. As the bow sank lower into the freezing Atlantic, chaos erupted. People jumped into the icy water. The temperature was below freezing. Most victims died within minutes from hypothermia. At around 2:20 a.m. on April 15th, Titanic finally broke apart and disappeared beneath the ocean. More than 1,500 people lost their lives. The unsinkable ship was gone. Hours later, the rescue ship Carpathia arrived. Only around 700 survivors remained. The world was shocked. Newspapers across the globe covered the disaster. Investigations revealed deadly mistakes. Too few lifeboats, ignored iceberg warnings, and overconfidence in technology. The tragedy changed maritime laws forever. Ships were now required to carry enough lifeboats for everyone on board. Today, Titanic rests nearly 13,000 feet beneath the Atlantic Ocean, a silent grave frozen in darkness. Yet more than 100 years later, the story still captures the imagination of millions. Because Titanic was more than a ship, it was a warning, a reminder that no matter how advanced humanity becomes, nature can still humble us all. If you enjoyed this documentary, make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more historical documentaries and true life stories. Thanks for watching.